Hi everyone, welcome to The City Cooks, and one of our recipes for today is how to make dressing. And I am going to show you a recipe that I like. I am not promoting any labels. First of all, I want to make that clear. It's just that this is what I use when I am cooking. So, here we go. These are the dry ingredients you need on your grocery list. You need some cornbread mix, both kind, the white kind or the buttermilk cornbread or the corn muffin mix. It can be Martha White or it can be Jiffy. And then you need to have some herb seasoning. It can be any type, just so it's herb seasoning. Then you're going to need to have your spices. I use the sausage seasoning because it's already has salt in it and a lot of other ingredients that make your dressing flavorful. And then you need onion powder, poultry seasoning, poultry bouillon cubes or either powder, garlic seasoning, sage. So those are some of the things that you season your dressing with. And then you need to have chicken broth. Now, if you were actually cooking a turkey, you would have the broth from that turkey, or if you were baking a chicken, you would have the broth from it. And then you might need a can of cream of chicken soup. And then the dairy products you need, it can be unsalted or salted butter. I suggest you use butter, not margarine. And then you need a couple of eggs. You also need to have celery and onion and bell pepper. Those are the ingredients that are going to go into our recipe today. The next thing that you do is you chop up your bell pepper, your celery, and your onions. So if I had to measure those things, I would say you probably need a cup of bell pepper, a third cup of celery, and a cup of onions. If you noted earlier in the video, that was half of that bell pepper, all of that onion, and a few stalks of the celery. Once we've done that, we're going to saute those ingredients in butter. So you see we have all of that in there, and the butter has melted, and it is began to saute, and you cook it low and slow so that it'll get tender. So once it's tender, you're ready to utilize your vegetables. Now, they've cooked long enough. You are supposed to already have made your cornbreads. So you have the buttermilk cornbread and you have the Jiffy cornbread mix, and you don't cook them together, you cook them separately. It's very, very important. Good morning. I've shown you the ingredients that you need in order to make this preparation, so now I'm going to show you how to put it together. First of all, you had to bake the cornbread according to the directions that were on the box. You know that you use one white cornbread and one yellow cornbread. And so I have them here. So this is the white, and then I'm going to, and I have it in a plastic bag, and I'm just going to crumble it a little bit, not much. And now I have the yellow cornbread, which was Jiffy, and I am going to, and you know you can get whatever kind you want, but I'm going to put it in the bag. Well, really, I don't have to put it in the bag. I can just put it in the bowl. because we just need to mix the two together. So we're going to put the yellow in here. And you see the proportion. You just have a pan full of cornbread. You don't have very much. It doesn't look like much to begin with, but it's going to end up being a lot. So I'm just going to get that from the bottom, and I'm going to put it in the bowl. And then I'm going to just make sure that I, crumble it up a little bit. Don't have to crumble it up a lot because you don't have to mix so much inside of that. And now, this is herb seasoning. It doesn't have to be this brand, but this is the brand that I use. And I forgot to bring some scissors so that I could open it up. So let me see if I can open it this way. I did. I opened it this way. So now I'm going to put that in there. And I'm not going to use the entire bag. I'm going to use about 3/4 of the bag. Okay? So now I still have that much left, okay? And now, when you make dressing, it's just like seasoning the bread. You want it to taste good. And remember that we sauteed our onions and our bell peppers and our celery with a stick of butter. We're going to pour that in there. So you just think how much, did you note how much was in that jar? I use a mason jar to put it in because I was bringing it here to assemble. But you see that's quite a few vegetables. So vegetables make a difference in your recipe. So we're going to put those in there, and then we're going to put in cream of chicken soup. So a can of cream of chicken soup. And then we're going to start putting in our herbs. Okay, so now I want you to notice that this is poetry seasoning. And this is probably maybe like 1/8 of a cup. So I don't measure, but you need a perspective. So you're just going to coat your bread mixture and be satisfied. So I'm putting that in there, okay? I didn't put it all, but I put most of it. Okay, then we're going to put, this is not poultry seasoning, but chicken bouillon. Okay, because you usually make dressing when you have either chicken or turkey. So you put some of that in there. And again, I didn't put it all, I left a little bit. And now we have our garlic and our onion. They can't hurt. So you're using powder. So, you just seasoning it. So just sprinkle a little bit on top. Then our garlic. You can't hardly tell garlic is in there. So you just sprinkle a little of that. Okay. And then this is our sage. Now, what you're doing is just seasoning the bread. Okay, so now this here is sausage seasoning, and you buy it at the meat store. And the number that I'm using is 25. This has salt in it, so you note that I haven't put any salt in here before. So you have to be very, very careful, but you want to kind of taste it. So you're going to put some in there, and again, I didn't put too much. All right, now to moisture your dressing, you need some chicken broth. If you're cooking a turkey, it's better to have the turkey broth, or if you're cooking a chicken, it's better to have chicken broth. You can also add chicken or turkey meat inside of your recipe because you want it to just have that good flavor. And the meat adds something to it, but you have to chop it finely. We're not using that today. So then you're going to pour your broth in there. And you only need one thing to stir with. But you're not going to be mixing this up, but you're going to be just, turning it lightly so everything can get in. And if you don't have enough, can you see that? If you don't have enough liquid in there, you're going to add more. Now, I'm making this for a special friend today, and I don't like to taste my when I cook, and I know that's what my mother says all cooks are supposed to taste. I just don't like the taste. I'd rather eat and consume my food. I don't want to be tasting. But when I get this mixed up, before I add the eggs in there, I'm going to ask her to come over here and taste it, so she can tell me whether or not something's missing. And if she thinks something is missing, then I'm going to add a few more of my seasonings. Now, like I told you, that there is no salt that is in here, but I do have some seasoned salt. I didn't mention that in the beginning, but I do have some seasoned salt. We don't want to make it mushy, so we're just lightly adding the liquid and lightly stirring the mixture so that if you got any big pieces in there, you might want to handle them, so that they can kind of crumble up, but you don't want to. But now you see all of those nice vegetables in there, so you have like a one-stop meal. You got your vegetables, you got your bread in here, and so you have a good sandwich, but it's dressing and it's just delicious. And so you see that it's you want it to be somewhat liquidy. Now, if you think that you didn't have enough butter, you could add a little bit more butter in there to your mixture. But now, see, it's all mixed up now. You notice that it's not like a cake batter. It's like dressing, okay? So, we're going to ask for a taste test by my friend and see if she thinks anything else needs to be added. See, I can smell it and I think, maybe it's all right. It's good? Doesn't need any salt? Okay, so now that we've established that, we're going to put our eggs in there. The eggs are what binds it together. You may need 1 egg or 2 eggs, and I think that 1 might be enough. So we're going to just scramble that a little bit. So if you were making this overnight and you had done all of the other stuff, the only thing in here that you have to really be careful about is the egg. So if you just wait till the next morning and stir in the egg, then it'll be all right. So you can just have all that dry stuff ready, and that's how you make dressing. Now you get your pan, and I didn't have it down as an ingredient, but I love Pam or spray oil. So you need to make sure you spray the bottom of your pan. And then you're going to bake this for about 30 minutes on 350. And that's how you make your dressing. All right, that's how I make it. So you can put meat in there, And some people like to put oysters in their dressing, and so it's just up to you how you want it to taste. And you use basically the same recipe that I just prepared. And now we have a pan full of dressing, and you don't want it to be too thick, so this is a nice sized pan for all of that dressing, and smells like Thanksgiving. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the City Cooks and the recipes that we have presented so far, and we hope that if you want to show us how you prepare something, that you'll come in to the library and show us how to prepare. So you're going to cook it. We don't have a stove, but we're going to cook it, and then we're going to know how it tastes. And my friend is going to take a picture of the end product, and we'll put that at the end of the video. Thank you for joining us this morning.